Do you ever wish you could hop in that DeLorean and travel back in time to the 1970s and 1980s to really get an understanding of what today's housing market is like? Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a trip back in time to look at how the housing market then is similar to what the housing market is today. Because you have a lot of doom and gloom preachers out there now who are preaching, we're in this housing market crash and the whole world is coming down, the sky is falling, which really doesn't make sense to me, but that's for another topic. But today we want to take a look at what happened then and what's happening now. We want to look at some similarities because history, although it may not repeat itself, it can be pretty similar. So what we want to do today, and by the way, my name is David Totten. I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Virginia and North Carolina, licensed with eXp Realty. My team and I, we get calls and texts every day from people just like you looking to make a move to this area, and we love it. So whether you're moving 10 miles or 1,000 miles, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. Better yet, schedule a Zoom meeting with me. That link is in the description below so we can meet face to face, we can understand your needs and help you make a smooth move to this area. So what we want to do today is take a look at, based on a report that I was sent by beloved Ma over at Ma's Cakes, and she was, reading through this report. She said, David, I think this is something that you would possibly be interested in. So I read the report and I wanted to share it with you because home ownership as we know it, of course, is a challenge today. We have higher interest rates, we have higher inflation, and we have low inventory. Those are the challenges that we are facing today. And you have a lot of people who want to time the market and say, you know what, I'll buy when the time is right. Here's what I want to tell you. The time is right to buy your home when the perfect home becomes available to you and you have the money to purchase it. That's when it's perfect. You don't have to wait to, I'm gonna wait to see if the market dips to, no, because there are ways around that. And let's just say, you are, hesitant with the interest rate. Get this, interest rates change. They go up, they go down. So you have people who did get in back in 2019, 2020, when interest rates were, 2.5%, 3.5%. They were closer to 8%. They have eased a little bit as of today, but buy the house, date the rate. That's the key to the game. You buy your house that you want, especially if it's available and it's what you want and it's perfect for you and your family. And just say, you do buy the house today and interest rates are 7%. Let's just say the Fed decides that they want to help lower rates, right? The rates go down to 5%. Well, guess what? Refinance. You have the house, because guess what? Housing values are going to continue to go up. But if you get in now versus waiting for another year, you may be priced out, because a lot of people are. We were on a call the other day, and one of the agents out of Lynchburg, he said for every 1%, I think he said that you have 5 million new buyers that come to the market. So we saw what the market was like in 2019. One house, 30 offers. Today, 30 houses, 1 to 2 offers. So if you are in the market for a home, today might just be your lucky day. So we're gonna jump into my computer. I wanna look at this report with you briefly because I don't wanna hold you long because I wanna get serious. I had this whole idea of buying some 1980s gear, and we were gonna listen to some theme music from Back to the Future and Top Gun, because those things were hot back in the 80s. That's when I was born. 1983 was a very good year. You had the Ghostbusters, you had Top Gun, you had, of course, Back to the Future. That's when the parachute pants came out and these dances and the big hair. But guess what? We're gonna get serious because buying a home, 24 months from now, you may not be able to afford that. You may not be able to do that because of inventory and because of prices. The average price now for a new home in the United States is over $450,000. But we are here in Danville. You can still buy a home under $150,000 here. That's completely renovated. So let's jump into the computer and let's take a walkthrough of this report. We'll take a look at interest rates, and then I'll let you go back and enjoy your day. Okay, so welcome to the David time traveling machine, aka my computer. Okay, so here's the report. The housing market is following a similar playbook from the 1980s when mortgage rates doubled. Here's what it could mean for home buyers today. All right, so we are looking at, there are striking parallels between today's housing market and the housing market of the 80s, according to Bank of America. Three things: high inflation, surging mortgage rates, and pent-up demand for homes from a growing demographic boom. Guess what? It's the millennials, man. This my generation. You know, we're at our prime home buying age. We've gotten over the 20s, the 30s, selling in our careers or our businesses, and now we're having families and we want to buy a house. Go back 20, 30, 40 years. Guess who it was? It was the baby boomers in their prime buying ages. So let's continue to walk through here. We think the 80s are a better analogy for today's market than the 2008 housing crash. This is what you're hearing. Housing crash. 2008 is repeating itself. No, it's not. It's really not. This is what's happening. High inflation, surging mortgage rates, and pent up demand. Okay, so back in the 70s and the 80s, mortgage rates did the same thing they did in 2001 when they started trending, 2022, 2021, 2022, and now 2023. So they've doubled from 9%, which we think 8 is bad. Picture that 40 years ago, to 18% by 1981. And baby boomers were entering their prime home buying age, which we just stated. So look at this, 9% to 18%. That was normal, a 9% interest rate back in the 70s and the 80s to buy a home. And people are screaming over a 7 to 8% rate now. And people are making a ton of more money today than they were back in the 80s. But let's keep going. Fast forward to 2023. Inflation has surged. The average 30-year mortgage rate doubled from 3% to 7%. And millennials are driving pent-up demand for homes as they enter their prime home buying age. It means that prices are unlikely to rise from here and could slightly fall, but not as much as they did during the 2008 housing crash. Let's keep going. Look at this question. The question is, how long can today's consumer stomach high mortgage rates, as that pushes affordability for many millennials to obtainable levels? That is a great question. And let's jump over here to this tab. And I did see something. Here we go. The Fed may only do 1 or 2 rate cuts next year. That'll be a good thing. Fed will forecast a median of 2 cuts in the latter half of 2024. So here's what I was saying earlier. You're thinking about buying a home. The perfect home comes to the market. Or you have a super duper agent who can find you the house off market that's perfect for you. Okay, picture this. Perfect house, and you have the money to buy the home right now, because only serious players are in the market today to buy a house. So perfect house for you. You have the funds to purchase the home. Guess what? Buy the house, especially with this report that they're looking to cut rates twice next year. Buy the home, date the rate. Rates drop, refinance. So if we look at today, a 30-year fixed is at just over 7% now, which is up from, I want to say yesterday. So 7% down from 8, that's a great thing. But let's keep going in this report. There are other similarities between today's housing market and that of the 1980s. The bank added, home prices surged by over 16% in 1979, then essentially flatlined as year over year growth slowed just to 0.5% in 1982. Additionally, existing home sales fell 54% from peak to trough. So that's when people try to time their market. That's that flow. So after COVID-19, check this out. Home prices jumped nearly 21% before flatlining to 0% year over year growth in June. Meanwhile, existing home sales plunged nearly 40%. So we can kind of see 79, late 70s, early 80s housing market, 2019, 2020 up to 2023 housing market. So for now, there's no sign of excess housing development. That is very true. And household debt is not much of a concern. Interesting. Bank of America said, but warned there should be more turbulence ahead as prospective home buyers struggle to keep up with soaring mortgage rates. Again, if the Fed is talking about lowering rates next year, we'll just have to see what happens. But I do want to help encourage those of you who have been discouraged by the news that you see every day about the housing market is crashing and we're 2008 repeat. Listen, folks, here's the data. This is not David saying it. These are people a whole lot smarter than David who are saying that, we're just kind of in this 1970s, 1980s housing market, and we're kind of getting a look at what could possibly happen to help you make a better decision. So let's keep going. Limited inventories, high prices, and labor shortages can be headwinds for some time. But the good news is that single family permits have held up for the past several months. Now, that is, I would probably say nationally, you have, of course, real estate is hyper local. That's a hyper local business. Here in Danville, Virginia, we have not had a lot of new construction. We are starting to see some, but it's not massive. So again, I'm calling out builders. I'm calling out developers because by this time next year, this area will have added over 4,000 jobs in the area. And we need housing for these workers. We got people relocating. We have people leaving. We have people coming. We have people leaving. We have people coming. And guess what? We need housing. We need new housing. Or we need somebody who can come in and redevelop the older housing, the older houses that are here, dilapidated and just need some renovations that can be, remodeled for people moving into the area. But let's keep going. Okay. I want to jump back over to the rates for a minute. So interest rates, 7%, well, 7.09 today. Now, there are ways for you to lower your interest rate even from 7%. How can you do it? Well, I would like for you to talk to my trusty mortgage professional, Tyleek Brandon with Alcova Mortgage. That is how we can kind of strategize together on how to lower your rate. So what I would like for you to do, my friends, is to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. I will get you in touch with her. But if you're paying cash, hey, we'll just find you the right house. 30 days, you're home. But if you are looking to finance, the day is not over. Your dream is still alive because I believe in you. I know Tyleek believes in you. I need you to believe it yourself again, because one day you told yourself, I am going to buy my new house. Whether it's your first home, whether it's an investment home, whether it's your forever home, or whether it's your next home. Hey, I'm here for you, David Totten, here in Virginia and North Carolina, because you can buy down your rate. It'll cost a little bit, but it'll save you money in the long run. Or we can ask the seller to buy down your rate. And also have the 2-1 buy down, which will lower your interest rate for at least 2 to 3 years. 2-1 buy down, 3-1 buy down. So there are ways that we can help you save a ton of money, and still get your dream home. So I want you to remember, give me a call, shoot me a text. Matter of fact, look in the description below, click that link to schedule a Zoom meeting with me. And remember, sometimes you have to go back to the future to see what's coming ahead. Until we see you in the next video, we love you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.